rest of you too, awesome.
Hey, what's up YouTube? Rastov here, and welcome to my Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Nuzlocke challenge video. I'm so excited. I've been thinking about this for a while, actually, the whole time that I was playing through Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and I thought, man, there would be some really cool, like, rules if you could kind of pick them as options, but hey, I figured why not talk about a Nuzlocke, and I googled it, and I looked on YouTube, nothing there. So, just to start off, if you're not familiar, what is a Nuzlocke? Well, it was originally created by a content creator called Pro Jared, who created them for Pokemon games. And if you've ever played a Pokemon game, you know that, I mean, they're made with kids in mind, right? So there's no hard mode, there's no, you know, there's no like real actual challenge. Like the game is created so that you can win the game, catch all the Pokemon, and have fun. But what Jared did was he created a set of rules to make it more challenging. So like you could only catch the first Pokemon at the start of each route. If you have to nickname your Pokemon, if a Pokemon faints, it's considered dead. You can't use it anymore. There's been a whole bunch of different like Nuzlockes and alternate locks out there. There's egg locks, like A-drive locks, all sorts of stuff. And so I thought, you know what? There's some rules and you know, some things in Xenoblade Chronicles 3 that honestly I would have loved to have been in the game. So why not make a set of challenge rules? And you know what? I've actually been playing through some of these rules that I've made, and it makes the game a whole lot more fun. Like I'm really enjoying it. It's crazy. So I'm just gonna switch you over to the actual rules now. Ta-da! I called it a Rastovlocke, eh? Yeah. So this is the Rastovlocke's core rules. And again, you know, if you're interested in doing something like this, I have been trying it out, and it is so much fun. So obviously, you set it to the hardest difficulty. As of the date of creation of this video, hard mode is the hardest difficulty, but I know that with like Xenoblade Chronicles 2, there was like the Bringer of Death, I think it was called, where you could just change it. So if you're watching this video and there's another mode out which lets you edit everything, chuck it on the hardest or as hard as you feel comfortable with. So then we go, the next rule is no interlinking or chain attacks. And, you know, which kind of, you know, I know that it's a big gimmick, right? So you probably wouldn't want to do this the first time you were playing, but interlinking makes you invulnerable. It does a crap load of damage, and chain attacks do the same thing. They're also, you know, chain attacks also give you massive experience if you don't have that option turned off. So I just think not using interlinking and not using chain attacks makes the fights a lot more fun as well. Also, no character switching mid-fight. Oh, it's like blasphemy, I know. The community complained and asked and asked and asked for so long to get character switching. And now I'm trying to take it away from you because I'm an asshole. But no, I do find it interesting. Well, to be honest, it didn't really affect me too much because I always only just played as Noah anyway. But there's some hardcore rules which that could really, that'll be coming up soon after I've done talking about the core rules. So yeah, no character switching. I know that a lot of people do like switching characters mid-fights to use different abilities and whatnot. So yeah, no switching mid-fight. Obviously, no bonus experience is a big one. You know, you do end up over-leveling yourself quite a bit. If you are playing on New Game Plus, spoilers, you could always, you know, use the level down system to level yourself down to whatever the current monster's average level is. You can just see that by walking around the area that you're in. This one I found really interesting, and it's a rule that I kind of imposed on myself towards the end of my actual playthrough of my hard mode gameplay, which was one roll per character. So initially what I did at the start was I would max out a class, switch to another class, and I just alternated. And I gave everyone every class for ages. But then I got to a point in the game where I was just like, nah, you know what? I'm just going to make Noah and Senna my attackers. Uni and Tyon are going to be my healers. And Lance and Lance and Mio are going to be my defenders. And after I started doing that, I don't know, it made the game a lot more fun because they didn't. Yeah, and it was because there's some really good like attacker abilities that you can put on, you know, tanks and vice versa and things like that. So it definitely made classes feel a little bit more unique to me. Right? So no class double ups, including heroes. So what I mean by this is if you've got War Medic, then you can't use Valdi. And if you're using Valdi as your hero, you can't have one of your characters as a War Medic. That's all I mean by that. No doubling up. You know, you can't run 2 Zephyrs, you know, not running 2 Sword Fighters, nothing like that. Cool. No auto or quick saves. And 1 save per chapter. Yeah. Now you might think, well, what does that really matter? If you get stuck on a boss or something like that, sometimes it doesn't let you out of it, you know? Sometimes there are certain boss fights in the game where if you die, you have to actually go back to the main menu screen and load the game. So this one would be, you can either have no saves or, well, no. I mean, there's a hardcore rules coming up where I'll talk about that a little bit more, but for this one, don't use any of the auto or quick saves, and you get 1 save per chapter. So you get to decide where you think it's most important. If you know there's a boss coming up and you think you're going to struggle, you might want to use your save there, but there's always the chance that another boss is going to come up or you're going to die and have to go back and do that whole boss fight again. So I've been doing it. It's interesting. There's been a couple of rage moments for sure, but I found it really fun. This obviously doesn't include like the end of chapter saves. We're not classing that. If you beat a chapter, we'll consider that like a checkpoint. So yeah, I think it's really cool. What do you think, eh? Some core rules. Those are just the base rules. Okay, I have made some hardcore rules, so I'm gonna bring them up right now. Why did I even come back here? Let's see. I hope it doesn't record this. Hardcore rules. Hardcore. So pretty much it's the same core rule, same as the core rules, so everything we just talked about, except a little bit different. Now I've tried a couple of these rules, and it makes it so much harder. Yeah, and the jury's out on whether or not I like it being hardcore, but you know what? If you like it, sweet. So if you party wipe, I did the game restart initially, and I was like, nah, screw this, and I just went back to my chapter restart. So that's why at the end of each chapter you would have 1 save where you save it at the start of the chapter. Then when you pick your 1 save for the whole chapter, put that in a different slot. And then if you wipe it all, you can go back to that one if you're playing it hardcore. I did try 1 main character per chapter, which is actually really interesting. So obviously, you know, chapter 1 I was Noah, and then I went chapter 2 Mio. And then, yeah, you could go chapter 3 like Lance, and it also kind of lets you rotate, you know, what classes you're playing as well. Just a really interesting one. And then obviously, you know, final chapter, you can pick whoever you want, really. But yeah, it's been a really interesting one for sure. So I'd give it a crack if you think that's a little bit of you. Another hardcore rule is 1 class per character, right? So what I mean by that is if you want, like, let's say the War Medic class, you decide that only Uni is allowed to use that class, or only Senna is allowed to use the Seraph class. However you want to do it is fine. And then the most hardcore rule of them all, I hate this rule. I hate it. Auto build only. It's terrible. It's so bad on some of the classes. It picks some awful items. It picks some crap items, but man, is it funny. Because, yeah, but that's the thing, right? This is to make the game harder. This is to make the game harder if that's something that you're interested in. So if you are, give it a crack. If you're not interested, that's okay. Now, I do have some other rules here. Did I not save them? No. Quick cut. Whoa. Luckily, I had it still saved. I just hadn't downloaded it off Canva. So we've got some optional and interchangeable rules that you can use. Nop-on coins can be used to like level up classes, but you obviously can't equip them, right? So if you've decided that, let's say, Senna can only use the Seraph class, but you want to use it so that you can level up your other classes with Nop-on coins to maybe get some master arts from them, if that's how you want to play it, I think that's cool. Another optional rule there, 1 interlink per battle. And what I mean is, like, you can only interlink once. So I don't mean all 6 characters can interlink. I mean, you pick one and go hard. So that's up to you if you want to do it that way. 1 chain link, but you turn off the bonus experience. So, like, rather than, you know how when you do a chain attack, and if you it turns off the overkill, so it doesn't get that extra experience at the end of it. That way you can still use the chain attacks, but why do I say chain link? Ah, well, you know what I mean. Yeah, I just think that's an interesting one. You can use bonus experience if you're under-leveled. So, like, let's say, you know, you're stuck on a boss and its level is like 30 or something like that, but you're stuck at like level 25. You could use bonus experience to get you up to level 30 there. You would just want to make sure that you're doing 1 level at a time. Let's see. So the party wipe feature, if you are using the hardcore rule, so the party wipe doesn't count if you get 1 shot out of combat. So, like, you know, sometimes you're running around an area, monster aggro's onto you, hits you once, and then it just wipes the party, because if for some reason the person in your character or the person you're controlling dies, that's it. That doesn't count. I think that's a pretty good one if you're going to do it that way. But fall damage does. So if you try to be all sneaky and you fall off and die, that counts as a party wipe. All right. Now, the most important rule of them all. Have fun. If you're doing this and you're not enjoying it, if you're playing with any of these rules and you're hating it, don't do it. You know, you spent money on this game, presumably. You are investing time into this game. If you're not having fun, don't do it just for the sake of doing it, right? These rules that I've sort of thought up and created were to make the game more enjoyable for me, because I really like it and I wanted to just do something a little bit different. Now, I didn't need to write all of these rules down, right? But I feel like for me, having like a list of rules, I stick to it and I'm a little bit more accountable for it. So, yeah, just have fun. If you're enjoying it, awesome. But if you're not, don't do it. Play the game how you want to do it. There's also no obligations to use all of the rules or any of the rules that I've created. If you take away one thing that I've said from this video and you think, I want to do that in my game, do it. Let me know. Chuck it in the comments. I just really love this game, and like when I thought about these ideas, I just thought, I hope I can share some of these with other people, because you don't typically see a lot of lock rules or nuzlockes or things like that in other games, and it enhanced Pokemon so much. If you don't believe me, you Google or YouTube Nuzlocke challenge right now and you'll see a bunch of different videos. You know, I've done them. I've played it. Like, I will actually, new Pokemon games, I will do sort of like a semi Nuzlocke challenge on them, because I know that I find it more enjoyable, because I love Pokemon games. And I've already said it, when the new one comes out, you're going to be seeing some videos. You're going to be seeing some videos. You know? So, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you like the ideas that I've put out, please let me know in the comments. I had a really cool comment from someone the other day who watched my 6 things I'd change. Big shout out to you. And they had this really well thought out and well written comment. They disagreed with me, and I thought that was friggin' cool. They and their reasoning was good. So I really want to see more comments. You know, I'm not that guy that's saying like and subscribe, because I believe that if you like and if you want to subscribe, you'll do it on your own. But I do like the comments because I like chatting with the people that watch my videos. I think that's really fun. So thank you again. Thank you everyone that watches. If you try these rules out, please let me know, because I want to see how it goes for you, because I've been having a crap load of fun doing it. And I finished the game, I started playing right again with my rules, and I'm like, oh, I wish I'd have done this from the start. Some of them maybe not on the first one, but I'm rambling now, so I'm going to cut the video, end the video. Laters, peeps. Have a great day. Take care. Stay safe. All that good stuff. Peace.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe.